We'll bring you team election coverage of the University of Memphis watch party, and we'll talk about reaction to President Obama's re-election.
And also, the Memphis Grizzlies are off to a great start and introduce a new CEO. Good morning and welcome to Inside News. I'm Sheila Guerrero.
And I'm Jessica Chavers. Thank you for joining us. The CIA is under heavy scrutiny as its most powerful figure leaves the agency behind. David Petraeus resigned as director of the CIA after announcing an extramarital affair with his biographer, Paula Broadwell. Petraeus is a retired four-star general and commander in Iraq and Afghanistan. He has been married for 37 years and called his acts unacceptable. Deputy Director Michael Morrell will serve as acting director in his place and may be named to the position permanently.
Just 3 days before the resignation of the director of the CIA, the 2012 presidential election was held. The University of Memphis chapter of the NAACP held an election watch party, and Inside News had team coverage of the event. Inside News reporter Jessica Chavers and Christian Hudson have the story.
Jessica Chavers here at the restaurant located on the University of Memphis campus, where the NAACP is hosting a viewing party for the 2012 presidential debate. Now, everybody behind me are on pins and needles awaiting the final results of the presidential election. Now it's Octavia Wilson. Octavia, tell me, how does it feel to have the atmosphere in the room tonight?
It's a very wonderful atmosphere. I'm sure everyone is really excited meeting on such a prestigious occasion. And for us to have the turnout that we had, it's exciting for me. So,
okay. Continue with team coverage, Christian Hudson.
I have here Jonathan Neely, who is a University of Memphis student. How would you feel if President Obama is re-elected?
Basically, I feel that Obama will fix things that he has been trying to fix within his 4 years. And basically with Romney, I feel that a lot of college students would drop out because of us having to pay out of pocket. And so I think that'll be a decrease in some of the things that the government is looking for, where there's such a high need for some jobs. And so some people just drop out.
Let's see if over here in the restaurant. Back to you in the studio.
Christian, according to the election results, the swing states Obama won were New Hampshire, Michigan, and Florida. These states are where neither candidate had overwhelming support. When Obama won those states, it seemed he was at the advantage. Obama's biggest success, however, came when he won Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Ohio.
Not everyone is happy about President Obama's re-election. Donald Trump took to his Twitter page and called the election a total sham and travesty. He also called for a march on Washington to take back democracy. Trump currently has a luxury line of clothing being sold in Macy's department stores. Over 5,000 people have signed a petition to have Trump's line removed from the department store chain.
The Obama administration is likely to see some major changes in its second term. There are at least 3 positions that are expected to be open next year. Hillary Clinton, who is the Secretary of State, along with the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Treasury, have all announced they will be stepping down from their positions. UN Ambassador Susan Rice and Senator John Kerry are top contenders for the second of the new seats. When we come back, the Memphis Grizzlies have a new boss. Don't miss it.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
No, my son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
It's crazy.
We can't see our name.
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
The Grizzlies are getting a fresh start with a new owner and a new CEO. A sign outside the FedEx Forum says, "Where new starts are made." That is a sentiment expressed by new Grizzlies majority owner Robert Pera when he addressed media and fans in his first public press conference since buying the NBA franchise. Pera, a 34-year-old tech billionaire, made a brief comment about himself.
I'm sitting here
his company
and
his
I'm the controlling
commitment
owner,
is
but
to improve.
I fully understand the community, and the community of Memphis really owns the team. So what we're going to try to do is kind of guide the team to have the biggest impact and really improve the community of Memphis.
Pera then went on to introduce the new CEO of the Grizzlies, Jason Levin. Levin regaled the media and fans with stories about his personal friendship with Pera and introduced a formal list of minority owners. Levin rapped with what he thought both he and Pera could bring to the team, citing Pera's youth and enthusiasm for the sport of basketball and his own experience as a sports agent, making him a player friendly.
The Memphis Grizzlies are making quite an impression across the NBA. Thanks to a 6-point win over the Miami Heat Sunday evening, the Grizzlies are 5-1, the best start in the franchise history. 4 players are averaging double figures for Memphis, led by Rudy Gay at 20 a night. The Grizzlies have a tough stretch ahead, playing both the Thunder and the Knicks in a 2-day period. ESPN's latest power ranking have the Grizzlies rated the 4th best team in the NBA.
Watching and playing football is one of America's favorite pastimes, whether you are a player or a spectator. A serious football injury is nothing that you should look forward to, but thousands of players are injured each year playing a sport they love. Insight's Carrie Oldham has the story.
Football fans everywhere anticipate the start of the season, tailgating, cold nights at the stadium, and seeing their team pull a W. But injuries are not usually on the list of things to think about. According to the American Association of Neurological Surgeons, football is the 3rd most dangerous sport after diving and cycling. From the helmets to the padding, measures taken to keep players safe have evolved over the years. You would think helmets like this would make head and neck injuries impossible, but players still have to be wise about collisions. In September of this year, Tulane was playing their Conference USA season opener against Tulsa when Tulane safety Devon Walker smashed his helmet against another player's on a tackle. He fell to the ground and was carried off of the field, presumably paralyzed. After being treated for a fractured spine, Walker is not paralyzed, but suffering from serious injuries. According to the National Center for Catastrophic Sport Injury Research, advances in the construction of helmets and shoulder pads, as well as proper coaching from an early age, have combined to dramatically reduce the number of serious injuries. 21-year-old Terrell Woods never thought that playing the sport he loved so much would render him paralyzed from the waist down.
Actually, I just finished practice and we were just kind of joking around. And I had put my hoodie back on. I had a hoodie I wear everywhere. I put the hoodie on, and right after I hit the ground, I remember kind of just laying there, and it went blank for a second. And I asked a friend, if he can help me up, and he was like, all right. He grabbed my arm and tried to pull me up, but something wasn't right. It was like a tingle through my body.
For Insight News, I'm Carrie Oldham, the University of Memphis.
Coming up, students at the University of Memphis are trying to outsmart campus police. Stay tuned.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
Parking at the University of Memphis can be a hassle for some students. The campus renovated its parking lot, which created larger but fewer parking spots. Some students are trying to outsmart campus police with a plan that is backfiring. Insight's Brianna Boyd has the story.
Tickets, tickets, tickets. They can cost you a fortune if you park in the wrong zone or even forget to pay the meter. Some vehicles get ticketed for even parking incorrectly. But what students are now doing is saving them extra bucks, recycling. Students are now recycling tickets they have already been issued to place on their cars once they have parked. Students park their cars, reach for a ticket they have already received in the past, fold it up, and place it on their windshield so that ticket givers can assume the car has already been ticketed.
So what I started doing last semester is just saving my old tickets. So when I come to class and I'm late and I can't find a parking spot, I just put one of my old tickets on the windshield and I just go to class. So I know that they're going to look over it and think I have a ticket already and they'll just skip my car.
To catch the students in action, parking services have now hired undercover ticket givers who casually look out the window at every vehicle that has been ticketed. Undercover workers have to now pick up each ticket and look at time and date it was given. If it is an old ticket, students can face a double fine. Double fines can range up to $10 or more than the average fee of a parking ticket. I'm Brianna Boyd reporting in East Memphis.
Students can save a few dollars during Thanksgiving holiday sales. Retailers will open for Black Friday early enough to make shoppers choose between hot deals and after-dinner dessert. From Toys R Us to Walmart, retailers are opening as early as 8 p.m. on Thanksgiving night. Toys R Us announced on Monday that they will begin their Black Friday sales on November 22nd. Doors open at 8 p.m., an hour earlier than last year. What do you think about that?
I love it. What do you think?
I want to be at home on the couch eating some sweet potato pie.
I want some turkey too.
Okay, I'm tired of the sales or whatever. Save it for Black Friday.
Yeah.
It's tradition, right?
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. I'll be at home.
I want dressing. You want dressing?
With cranberry sauce, of course.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, I can't wait. But you know what? My body's not gonna like that. But I'll burn it off sooner or later.
I don't. Give me the fat. I want the fat.
What do you think about? I know I'm switching. Okay, good. We're done. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, anyway, baby.
Coming up, we have a special guest in the studio this morning.
And she's going to be telling us about her experience. Find out how you can experience it too.
Stay tuned for Inside News.
Good morning and welcome to Inside News. I'm Sheila Guerrero.
And I'm Christian Hudson. Thank you for joining us.
The results for Florida are finally in, and President Obama has won the state's electoral votes. The state has counted enough ballots since Tuesday's election to feel comfortable naming President Obama the winner in the Sunshine State. In a concession call, Romney congratulated the president.
Let them know he had made a concession call to the president.
I have just called President Obama to congratulate him on his victory. His supporters and his campaign also deserve congratulations.
Now that gives the president 29 more electoral votes, making the final electoral vote count nationwide 332 for President Obama, 206 for the challenger Mitt Romney. It only took 270 electoral votes were needed to win the White House.
The national average on gas has dropped 38 cents since last month. Here in Memphis, the Kroger located on 3632 Frazier Boulevard and Rangeline is listed at $2.97 a gallon. This makes it the cheapest place to fill up your tank.
Gas prices in the Northeast seem to have fallen due to Hurricane Sandy. When the demand for gas is high, so are the prices. Prior to the storm, the oil industry was expecting to drop in prices due to the decrease and need. That is just what happened. Oil refineries in New York and Pennsylvania have even scaled back production, but these low prices are not being seen everywhere. The election also had a role to play in the prices, with red states seeing lower prices and blue states seeing higher ones. The prices of gas in the Northeast is likely to continue to fluctuate while people are suffering from the effects of the storm. When we come back, find out how the importance of studying abroad and what money is available.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
On the night of presidential election, a group of rebels at the University of Mississippi campus flooded the streets protesting the re-election of President Barack Obama. After students took their social media accounts, went viral and videos were uploaded. Media reports came out saying that it was a riot, but an Ole Miss student tells a different story.
My personal opinion, I wouldn't, from what I heard, I wouldn't necessarily call it a riot. Again, they said nobody was hurt and no property damage was done. Said they burned some signs. I don't know if that actually happened. Some people say there was a car flipped over and they just didn't talk about it. I don't know.
Now, Nick Ely tells our Inside reporter that he was told it was a local fraternity and that he hopes it doesn't affect prospective students from looking into his school. The University of Memphis
is celebrating 150 years of the civil rights activists who founded the Free Speech newspaper in Memphis. As a part of the celebration, a historian discussed the often unspoken side of slavery and freedom in the 19th century.
Chained, whipped, and beaten. It was daily routine for a group of people across the South, including here in Memphis, Tennessee. Fast forward 200 plus years later, on an October evening at the campus of the University of Memphis, where slavery was being discussed by historian Dr. Ann Twitty, who fell into studying the subject.
When I came to graduate school thinking that I was going to be a gender historian. And in fact, I worked with a gender historian. And about 2 years into my program, she said, there's this collection of documents and they've just been digitized, right? So they're available online and you have to check them out. And I said, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not interested in slavery. I'm a gender historian, right? And so I resisted her for a little bit, but she was very persistent. And so for a research project in a class, I decided I was simply going to write a research paper on this collection of documents. I got started looking at the documents and they were fascinating.
Now, Twitty's lectures are part of a series of events celebrating 150 years of Ida B. Wells. Wells was a civil rights activist and journalist who founded the Free Speech newspaper here in Memphis. It was because of Wells's writings denouncing the lynching of black men that placed death threats on her life, forcing her to leave the city of Memphis. Twitty focused on the law and how slaves learned about becoming free. Twitty tells the story of Maria and Jesse Whitten. Maria was an urban slave, slaves who worked in the city for small-time owners. Now her master Jesse, in his last will and testament, requested that Maria and the child he had with her be free. Students who came to the event said it was important for them to come and learn about a different side of history.
I am, of course, deeply influenced by African American history. So learning more about it is important.
Twitty said historians are finally starting to expand beyond the plantation when it comes to slavery. Joshua Bolden, University of Memphis, Insight News.
Higher education and job preparation isn't the only thing offered at the University of Memphis. There is also the opportunity to study in a different country to be fully submerged in the culture. Studying abroad is one way to further your education and knowledge of a different culture. There are about 20,000 students on campus at the University of Memphis, yet only 1% of that population has studied abroad. The Study Abroad office would like to see at least 10% of the student body go abroad. The director of Study Abroad, Rebecca Lyman, is heavily involved in the office and can help with questions or concerns.
I think you can't get a well-rounded education except if you've studied abroad. I mean, living with people from a different culture, getting to understand the reasons why people do certain things, understanding a country and its politics, all these you get from studying abroad.
Students who go abroad are enrolled in classes in a different country, but still have the time to travel throughout the country or the continent. Lauman says that all of the students who have taken advantage of the opportunity say they would definitely do it again. For more information on how to apply for a program or scholarships, visit the Study Abroad's office website at memphis.edu/abroad.
And here with us this morning is Christina Holloway, a print journalism major. She studied journalism in a time of war in Johannes Gutenberg University in Mainz, Germany. Insight's Kelsey Simeon has the story.
Joining us today, we have Christina Holloway, who actually went to Germany. So Christina, why don't you tell us how that was for you?
It was a very valuable experience. As soon as I've heard about the opportunity, I went ahead and did everything necessary, the paperwork, and talked to the professor and got it all together. And I mean, I love Germany. As soon as I got there, I was like, it was a culture shock, but it was something I got used to. It was something I ended up loving, so I'd do it again.
So what made you want to go? Like, when you first heard about it, what made you say, I'm going to Germany?
Well, the chair of the department, Professor David Durant, he was the one going to the different classes, telling us about the experience, or no, the opportunity. And I guess as soon as I found out, a trip to Germany is going to be a little cheaper compared to, I guess, post-graduation. It's a good opportunity. I kind of went ahead and spontaneously jumped for it. So I mean, it was fun. I just kind of wanted to go for something like that.
And I understand you went to other countries while you were there.
Yes, after we took our class, which was like 2.5 weeks, me and a few other students went to Paris for 5 days and then London for 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like traveling the States, but you're traveling different countries over there. So it's, like I said, I'll do it again and I'll, visit other countries while I'm at it. So.
And when you were in Germany, do you feel like you were able to grasp the material more being in a foreign country, being immersed in the culture, or?
Yeah, I was, taking a class with Germans, so it was kind of cool being there with them, hanging out with them. Sometimes we'd have lunch and, they'd show us around the city. And also previous students who've taken classes here were also there, so it's like we're going back and forth and they were showing me around mines. And I mean, I felt like I was like a German, but not really. So I loved being over there.
So you felt part of the
Yeah,
culture.
after the first week, I kind of calmed down and I'm like, yeah, I got this.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Okay,
and
thank you.
would you ever go to another country?
Yes, I do want to go back to Germany when I have the money, but I would love to visit, Italy or Spain or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to going to Paris. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Christina.
you.
Thank you, Kelsey and Christina. When we come back, we have the results from the opening game this weekend.
Stay tuned. This is Insight News.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are the #1 killer of children 1 through 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
The University of Memphis Tigers are starting their long road back to the NCAA tournament. The 17th ranked Tigers kicked off their first season in the Conference USA on Monday against the North Florida Ospreys. It was a great game for the Tigers. They beat the North Florida 81-66. Junior forward Tyreek Black led the Tigers with 18 points and 7 rebounds, and newcomer Shad Goodwin had 8 points and 7 boards in his first game in the Memphis Blue. Thank you for tuning in to Insight News.
That's all for Insight. See you next week.